got the cord? We live on. Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, good, guys? What is up?
I don't know. I look slim and look good. I don't know.
Okay, Slim looking good. Okay, we see you.
Shonda, I love the new hairstyle.
Thank you.
It's sitting on the skin.
Thank you. Trying to step out the box a little bit, to see. I was like, let me try something new, see what they like.
Hello.
That sounds
Represent
good.
your city, where y'all from.
Represent. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and start off the show. You know, this is the Let's Talk show. We care, we listen, and we try our best to help you guys out. I'm alongside my beautiful co-host, Shonda.
Hi, guys.
Isaiah.
Hello.
And myself. Y'all already know how we do it over here. Okay, listen, let's go ahead and start off real smooth, okay? Congratulations to all the 22 grads.
Yeah! Woo! You did it! You guys did it.
Listen,
let me tell y'all, I feel real old because this made 17 years I've been in high school.
Not 17.
I had my graduation yesterday. I had my graduation yesterday. I had got my bachelor's.
You what now? Say that again.
That is crazy.
I got my bachelor's.
Anyway, congratulations to you. Congratulations to you too, sir. We're not gonna knock you, but okay.
Right. I got it in tumbling.
Try. Go ahead. That's what's up. He said he graduated. We're not gonna knock him down because he graduated. So
listen, let's just take a moment of silence for the ones that actually graduated. Let's do 5 seconds. Listen, okay, that's it. The reason why we did
it was a shady remark. A lot of people shady remark for me. I'm the ones that actually graduated.
Okay. A lot of people said that you guys weren't gonna make it, and y'all did. So hey, listen, we just taking our hats off to y'all, okay? But let's go ahead and move on to our questions. Our first question is, our first topic is delayed consequence.
Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Yeah.
Listen, our behaviors, our action reflects our choice, and a lot of us don't realize like what we do today, it will affect us in a couple years from now. That's where any decisions that we make, that's drinking, that's just partying, or hey, that's even if you having a baby, if you having sex without a condom, you having a baby, something's gonna come in. So what do y'all feel about delayed consequences?
Well, my thing about it is first say, do you guys in the audience that are watching and my host and co-host, do y'all know the difference between a delayed consequence and the immediate consequence? Let's first put that out there.
Nah, girl, give me an update because I don't know the immediate one.
Is immediate right then and there?
So basically, an immediate consequence is like something that looks like the problem or whatever, but the delayed consequence is the actual underlying problem that remains. So it's just like what a lot of people do is they think they fixed it, but they really didn't fix the actual problem. So it's like, you have the consequence, but the actual situation is still there, it's still laying there. That's what a delayed consequence basically is the actual underlying problem of the situation is still there. So it's just like, if you commit a crime and then you go and you do this for it or whatever, but the problem's still there because everybody's still gonna remember that one thing you did just like you did. So it's just like the delayed consequence, you know, regardless if you don't move past it or not, it's still gonna be there. People are not gonna remember the good, they're gonna always remember the bad. And I can't understand that for the life of me.
That's sad though.
It's
like,
a human nature.
Right. Honestly, I always ask myself that, like, why do people do that? Like,
right.
You know, like, can we not forget about the past that you've done? You know what I'm saying? That's just like, you can look at that into like even dating. You know, a lot of people have done things in the past that you may not want to date that person on. But if you're looking into their future, or if their future self is somebody good or positive, how about you give them a chance? Like me personally, I believe in second chances. I don't know about y'all, but I strongly believe in second chance. I mean, we were all a sinner ourselves before, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, God gave us a second chance. Why we can't give others a second chance?
But hold on, though, because I was about to say, because you the type of person, if something happened really bad, you ain't going to let that thing go by. You going to bring it right back up. So let's not even use it like that.
I always say, let me play this up, y'all. Sorry. I always say you can forgive. We can forgive, but we may never forget. Sean,
right. So you the type of person you won't leave nothing behind. That's why I said it's a human nature. It's a human nature for everybody. Everybody ends up doing something bad. So everybody's going to always remember you for your bad. So that's why they say they won't forget, because they're going to remember you for your bad. But they won't. But it's funny because of all the good you can do through time, they still will go right back to what the bad you did, which is makes no sense to me. Like, I feel like jailers, like people that be in jail and come out, I feel like you should forget about their bad. Sometimes it's not even the person no more. Like, they might have stole when they was a little kid and probably in jail till about 5 years later. Y'all think they the same person? No, forget what they did and like let's reconcile with who they are now. Like, if they
a lot of people can't. A lot of people don't do that. Like, I tell the probationers all the time, like, you know, I don't care how good you do after this, they always gonna remember, you know what I'm saying, the bad you did that got you where you are. I don't look at people for what the mistake they made. I tell them all that because they're still human at the end of the day. I made mistakes and everything. I just didn't get caught like they did. So it's just like, you know, why should I sit there and judge them off of what they have done? And I basically maybe done the same thing. I just didn't get caught. So at the end of the day, I just tell them, you know, regardless of what, it's what you accept. So if you accept somebody criticizing you for the bad that you've done, then that's on you. You have to take the good and roll with it. You know what I'm saying? People count other people's flaws all the time and forget that they have made them too. Yeah. So, you know, like I say, put it on your back and keep it moving. Shoot, we human. But the human nature in us is just, you know, not really to forgive. I mean, you know, it's to forgive but not forget. And I feel like that's like the craziest thing, because if you're going to forgive someone for what they done to you or what they done, you might as well forget it.
Ooh, right. Like that.
So,
because,
you know.
And what you said, because a lot of us do a lot of things, but a lot of us may not get caught.
Right. We all have skeletons in our closet.
We all have done things before, but we haven't.
Right. So therefore, look, what I look like throwing the rock. That's like the people that throw the rocks and hide their hands. No, if you're gonna throw the rock, show your hands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that all based upon my thing is how you accept it. So if you accept that criticism from everybody still looking at your past and judging you, you've changed, then obviously you haven't really changed, because I'm not fixing to sit here and let you continue to poke me for something that I did and I've moved on, I've served my time for it, and you know what I'm saying, everything. No.
That's why y'all gotta, and then another thing on the delayed consequence, people gotta remember, like, even that goes with beyond of like becoming famous. Like my friend, you know, Jerry got in trouble like 4 years later, and now is in jail for 30-something years because of messing with kids, because that past stuff that he was doing got caught up with him in the future. So that's why
because there's really there is a statute of limitations, but you know,
I always just tell people, you know, what happens in the dark comes to the light. Like, you just got to be able to
just watch what you're doing,
to face it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all do things. You just got you got to be ready.
Just keep walking like you're on eggshells. Keep walking like you're on eggshells.
One thing I can respect our elders or our older people, or, you know, about is they try to tell us to change our ways now because it's gonna be, we gonna fall into it, but none of us never do. Why is that? Why we don't ever listen to them? They don't been through the time. They older than us.
I say why y'all, because baby, I be
well, like when you growing up and your parents tell you something or whatever, you get to that age, you don't want to listen. So that's all it is. Like you said, they've lived it, they've been through it, but we ain't trying to listen because we want to go through it and experience it ourselves when we know we should be listening. But then down the road, what happened? They were right. Could have saved yourself some time, but you trying to be grown and hard head. Now look at you. So I mean, we have all been there. We all done it. I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? Not listening because I just want to be my own person.
Yeah.
But sometimes listening when somebody is critiquing you or giving you advice to help you, it really helps you, regardless of what as a parent. As we are kids or whatever, your mama say, "Don't touch that stove; it's hot." But because you want to see if it's really hot, what you do?
You want to touch it.
So that's what happened.
Listen, y'all. So before we move on to the topic, to our viewers out there, listen. If they don't been through it, just listen to them and just see what they got. You ain't gotta listen all the way, but just listen to something that they try to tell you. So on our next topic, Melo's gonna put that up. Go ahead and put that up real quick, Melo. Would you allow your child to visit an inmate or family-related inmate? Put it up one more time so they can see it. Look at the picture, y'all. So listen, I'm going to start off first on this one. I think it's important that your child see you behind bars. I mean, I think that as a kid, we want to know how our parents are doing. Like, I've had to visit my parent before in a situation like that. Now, grantedly, I do know the young ones may not really pay attention. But for me, like, I was able to pay attention, and I want to see how my mom was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. So what do y'all feel about this scenario?
Go ahead, Isaiah.
I feel like it's depending on the time. So I feel like it's depending on the time. So, like, it depends on how long that person is behind bars because, I mean, at the end of the day, they can go see them whenever they would like. But I feel like if they're in there forever, then you might want to go see them from time to time. If they're in there for like a short period of time, maybe like a month or two, maybe 5 months, maybe just wait till they get out and then you're going to see your kid again. So, I mean, it just depends on the time of how long they got in the sentence.
Okay, Shawty.
I would look at it as if, I would take, if it was me in that situation, I would take my child. For the simple fact, it's not, a lot of people look at it as a bad thing because they don't want their children to like grow up and think it's okay to go to prison or to a jail. No, it's not. If their parent was active in their life prior to them going to jail or prison, let them continue to be active because time is valuable. We don't know what the second or the hour, you know what I'm saying, or the next minute has. So to take that time that this person is trying to get with their child away, that's selfish because you got to realize if you're the mom and you know what I'm saying, the dad is locked up or whatever, you want to take that child because if the shoe was on the other foot and the dad was doing it, you would want him to bring your child to see you. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a learning experience, but each person's going to feel the way that they feel about the situation. But I don't feel like you should, because at the end of the day, it's not about where you are or your circumstances. It's always about your child. So if you don't want the parent or their child to feel like, they're being neglected or the parent don't really love them or care about them, then you have to make that step. So it's different if you be like, well, I'm going to bring the child to see you and be like, nah, I don't want to see. That's different.
Because you do have some people that don't want to be seen in that way by their kids.
Right. They don't want their kids
no, don't
like that.
Bring
but if you're willing to be like, yeah, I want to see my child, take the child. Like, don't hold that child. Don't hold that back or against the child. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of parents do that because they feel like it's a bad situation. And it's really not.
Have you been introduced to that since you're in that field?
I've seen it a lot. But sometimes because most of the people they're going to prison or something like that. But I hear a lot of the men come out and they be like, my baby mom won't let me see my child or talk to my child, whatever the situation is. But I have to tell them, were you active like prior. And they be like, yeah, I was in my child life, I was doing this, I was doing that. Well, why your baby mama won't let you bring the child to see you? But she don't want, it's just a whole bunch of excuses. And it's be basically because when people go to prison, if they have a loved one or somebody that they've been with girlfriend-wise, I'm not going to say wife, but girlfriend-wise was there for them prior, and then they go into prison for a long time, they end up leaving. And then the dude finds somebody else, and then she pissed because when he get out, he don't fool with her. So that's a lot of times the reason why you hear or see a mother keeping the child from the, you know what I'm saying? And then you have those that were
parents. I feel like that is so selfish for parents to do that. Like even if they're not in behind bars or whatever. Like I hate parents that does stuff like that because we all move on for situations. So don't let that child go through the hardship because of you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, us as kids want to see our parents. We want to see both our parents happy. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that's not always the case. But Shauna, I do want to point out something that you said earlier, and if you play back the clip, I'm pretty sure you'll realize because you said that pretty much that you were saying that it's selfish that the women won't go show the kids to the dad, right? So I just want to say to the fathers out there, you guys, and the dads out there, y'all need to step up because you definitely need to step up because what Shonda said is so true. Like, why can't it be the other way around? Well, we don't want to see nobody behind bars, but why can't we be the ones that take care of our kids and stuff like that? Because in these cases, in today's time, it's always the women that keeps or have custody over the kids. Like
because of something but y'all got to remember is something that baby daddy did. Is it the cheating? Is it the interference?
That's what a lot of parents, women and men, mess up. It's not about the parent. It's about the child. People forget that. Like, take your feelings out of it. It's about the child or the children. Regardless of the situation that you having with your baby daddy, your baby mama, it's not about them. It's about the child or the children.
But here's that goes again to playing that plays a role model on the child too. That can turn that child into something different. So that's why most parents keep that away from their child because of the simple fact, if you're cheating and doing this to your wife or doing this to your husband, whichever way you want to put it, you're putting that influence on your child to turn out in that same motto. The
child can still turn out because when you get older, you make your own decision. Mm-hmm. So my thing about it is if you can parents will stay in a situation and when they're married and they're having issues because of the kids. Don't your kids can see it. Your kids know what you're doing, you're going through. No, because all you're doing is creating an image to them that when I get older and get in a relationship, I'm gonna have to stay because of my kids. No, cut that cycle off. That goes the same thing when it comes to parents and your kids. Or whatever. If you and your baby daddy is having a problem, don't bash your baby daddy, don't bash your baby mama in front of the child because at the end of the day, take your feelings out of it. Let this man or that woman see that child. But that's all it boils down to. They still have feelings, and you're not going to let because she got a new girl.
They take it to Facebook.
Right. Come on, grow up. If he moved on or she moved on, grow up. As long as the other person is not harming that child, it should be no problem. But you have so many people like that in society today that really, I mean, really,
but you got to break that cycle.
Like, you do.
Right. You got to break. That's exactly right. You got to break that cycle. And it's not
first it goes, but at first
most of these young mothers are childish.
Yeah.
And I be telling them like that all the time. Like growing up, my mom, I never heard my mama bash any of her baby daddies. Never. I never really heard the women bash their baby daddies because if the father was absent, you know what I'm saying? The mama did what she had to do, period. She didn't complain about having her children 24/7 because back then the grandparents were watching anyway. But getting up, going to work, taking care of the child by themselves, they didn't do all that. Like these new mamas. Oh, the baby daddy ain't doing it, so he ain't doing it. Like, come on, shut up.
Why they put everything on Facebook?
I don't know why they do that, but then they get mad because everybody want to talk about it. You doggone right we talking about it because you should have put it up there. That's dumb on you. You don't want people in your business. Stay out social media. That's point blank in the period. Then they want to
Yeah, I think that's a black culture thing.
Yeah.
That has to be a black culture.
It's all.
I have not seen that in the white
races.
I do not.
All races.
I promise you, Shonda. I have not seen so much go on in the black community that goes on in the white folks community. Where, let's say, if white folks don't go through bashing, oh well, this white nigga goddamn cheated on me.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm just saying, I don't see that.
It'd be worse because it'd
be
worse.
His side is from the country, so I
have seen it with all races. It is worse. Do you hear me? Like, all races go on bad. You know what I'm saying? But
on the internet like that though, on the white spectrum side.
Well, I don't.
I feel like that's a black thing to put everything on the social media.
Like, I don't be on social media that much anyway, but the times when I am on there and I see it, I just be shaking my head because I'm just like, it's just like going back and forth with somebody you got problems with. Y'all know each other. Y'all live in the same area.
Yeah.
You have her phone number. Like, why are y'all going back and forth? Like, all y'all want is the audience. And then
I think it's young. Me personally, I just feel like it's young-minded people who still have some hate or some love in the heart for the other person, and they don't want to,
And that's all it be.
My biggest thing about
you still got no feelings. You gotta take the feelings out of it. Like, if the man or the woman do not want you, move on.
My thing about it is y'all bash each other on the internet. Then y'all are going to the family reunions the next day. Expecting all the family members to like whoever you don't brought to the family reunion, knowing they don't read all your posts. Like,
now what get me with that? Right, what get me is you get on there and bash this person because they done did X, Y, and Z. But then, or you'll bash the other person. Let's change it. You'll bash the other person that's done X, Y, Z, but the person that you in a relationship with, dealing with, you still dealing with them. Like, who do that?
Do y'all feel like
this woman did X, Y, and Z, and you want to blame the other person but still stay with them? Who the fool?
Do y'all feel like it's a racial culture thing?
No, because it happens everywhere.
I promise you. I don't see it. Like, I just don't see it.
So let me tell you,
that's like being in the internet. That's like being in the internet and you saying Lil Baby ain't got done Jada, or you have all these black cultures that's big people that done bashed or did something to their man or
that's all that is, because nobody, if Lil Baby wasn't who he was and Jada wasn't who she was, and they was going through
let's say if it's
really care.
Okay, before y'all say something else, think about it like this, okay? And this is true because I know about it. Everybody's timeline is different, and it all according on who your friends list is or who you follow. Because let me tell you something now. If I go to Isaiah's Instagram, his Instagram is completely different from mine. Like, some of the people that I see on his timeline, I'm like, I ain't never seen a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? And if I can go to Shonda's, I'm pretty sure it's the same way about yours. You know what I'm saying? So we all know and see different things. So me personally, I don't agree with you about the situation because I think it's all cultural thing. Because you
really. But that's the point. Name some people. Do y'all know that is white that gets into what we get into?
Some people that
white folks don't go through what we go through. They don't.
What you mean?
Some people
you gotta elaborate on
I can give you an example. We can go through the slangs of like how women dish out the simple fact that they men are cheaters, or how men dish out they women's are hoes. You don't see that in the white folks culture. You don't at all. And if you do, name the people.
Like actually name them, or like
I know
name
people.
I mean, you gotta look. Okay, we're gonna go celebrity wise. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Okay, that's one.
Who?
Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. That's one.
We ain't talking about a black and a white person. We talking about a white and white.
I said that was one. That's one. But you got to realize Kim Kardashian, this is the first black man that she's been married to, but she's been in a relationship with a white man, just like she was married to the basketball player, whoever he was, for like 30 days. He was white. So that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't, I don't even think.
But tell me how did those white people, the men, dish out that their women's are hoes or cheaters? Or because how Kim Kardashian said.
Basically, he was saying, like, you know what I'm saying? He was just basically saying, that she did it for this reason, that reason, and he was basically saying she got around in so many words. But that was years ago. But I'm just saying it happens in all races, period. I'm telling you, like, I can go on my Facebook page and call, you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have to put we're gonna have to put the thing.
I disagree on both of y'all parts, because I do not, white folks are not like black folks culture at all. They can never get like that.
I'm gonna have to
everybody just watching y'all.
And I love all white people. I love all white people, but they're not like our culture at all.
No, each culture is different, but you know what I'm saying? Each race have their own set of problems within their race, whatever, period. But we all have certain areas where we're the same, because cheating happens.
We do have,
lying happen in every race. You know what I'm saying? Murders happen in every race. So it's not like it's just an African American thing, because it's not. It happens with all races. You may not see it.
Why is ours so public? That's what I'm trying to get to the point.
But you
why
may not
is
see
black folks side so public?
Who?
Why is the black folks side so public?
Listen, y'all, we're gonna drop the links on that. So when we see y'all,
that's just a thing. But like I said, it may just be the people that you're friends with or the area that you're in, but it happens.
But y'all are not understanding. Y'all are talking to somebody that traveled through cheer. It's the white folks. I don't see it. All I see is sunshine and rainbows over there.
But that's the thing. They try to put labels on every sport.
I see dark clouds over here.
They try to put labels on every sport.
Yeah.
You try to say this is a such and such race sport. No, it's not. All races cheer, all races play basketball, all races play football, all races play baseball, soccer. That's what I'm saying. Like they literally, it's America, the people. They put these labels on everything. The
only thing that I dislike about our race, and I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you, is a simple fact. In our race, we try to make you be somebody that you may not be. Like, if you like, it's okay to play baseball. Everybody in the family don't play football. It's okay to play baseball. It's okay to play soccer. That's the only thing that I would say that I dislike about our culture, is that we try to put titles or we try to put things on our kids.
Over here, girl.
And it be like that because we're looked at as people. We're the African American culture. We're inferior. Period.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I would say that.
People look at us just because of our skin color and because of our heritage and our history, that all African Americans are dumb. No, we're not. We're not. It like I said, the world wouldn't be the world without us, because mostly everything that's been created that is being used by us. A black person created it, but the Caucasian man stole it. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if they was to put all African Americans on an island together, the world wouldn't last. Not nowhere else, because what would they have? Nothing. You don't have nothing. You see everything that we do, they're trying to recreate. They're trying to steal. No, you can't put your name on something that we created. Period. But that's what happens. And
I feel like we can work together, though.
We have to be up one, because we've always been taught, you know what I'm saying? This is how you're looked at. And that's what's going on in the world. We're looked at as dummies and idiots, regardless of how smart we are. Yeah. And we feel like we have to prove to the world who we are, and we don't. But we try to prove it to the wrong people. We're trying to prove it to each other. No.
But that's our problem right there, though, is that everybody don't understand that we have to work 10 times harder.
Right, and that's the thing. We really do, like I said, because of our skin color and because how the picture has been painted of our image of us being dumb and idiots. They don't. You open your mouth, or that's what I be trying to tell, like, you know what I'm saying, the girls that I mentor, and you know what I'm saying, the probations and everything. When you open your mouth or what you post on social media or anything like that, people automatically take it and they dissemble it. You know what I'm saying? Right. They take it apart by everything. And the littlest thing, they take it and make it seem like that's the biggest thing to them, and now you're ignorant. That's why I tell people I don't use the N-word. I don't understand why African Americans feel like it is okay for us to call each other that, but then somebody else said you want to get mad. No, you open the door for them to say it.
Yeah.
Stop saying it.
You made it comfortable.
No, okay, so those people kind of created that word, and we kind of tried to make an uplift on the word.
Right, and you can't really uplift the word that's
like the word. That's like the B word. That's like the B word. When people call other people B's and stuff like that, they try to uplift that word, even though that's in a derogatory word. To be rude.
So but if we won't change, we have to start being a change. You can't put it out there and say, oh, this need to change, that need to change. What are you doing to implement this change? If you're not implementing the change, then nothing is going to happen. So, you know what I'm saying? We just have to stand more with each other, become more united within our own race. That way, when we're united or whatever, because when we stand together, that's when they fear us the most. When we're separate, they don't.
But we keep fighting against each other.
Right.
That's why
when we stand together, that's when we are the most fearful. Period. But they don't want to hear that. They don't want to talk about that. So we're just gonna move on from that conversation. Going on to our next topic. So our next topic, guys, is preparations for adulthood. Who, Father God, in the name of Jesus.
Can somebody send me some of that money?
Right. So how would you guys? Okay, so let me ask you, how did y'all parents prepare y'all for adulthood? Did they talk to y'all about anything?
My mom did. My mom did step me up ahead a little bit, like as in like she showed me a lot of independency moves, as in I would say like she already told me stuff about bills, how like she always tell me don't grow up so fast and don't try to be so fast, because she always showed me the steps. She said live out your childhood, because it ain't gonna be here for too much longer.
You're right, but I ain't listen to that because I wanted to be grown for the wrong.
No, and that's why, and that's y'all problem. And that's y'all problem right there.
To be grown for the, because like my mama told us, like she talked to us about credit. Make sure you don't ruin your credit. You know what I'm saying, and save your money and stuff like that. But I didn't want to be grown for that reason. I wanted to be grown so that I can go and come as I please and do other adult stuff, because I wanted to. So I looked over the whole, because she didn't really tell me like when you get grown and on your own, this you're gonna have this, and this. I'm thinking, it's free, baby. Because I'm gonna tell you one time when I don't know why I thought this, but it's a story time, guys. Story time. So when I was young, we used to go to the gas station, and pump gas. And mama would be like, pump, because back then gas was real cheap. So $10 would be your gas tank. So mom would be like, pump $10. Yeah, so I would pump the $10 in gas, and then I hang it up and pump 10 more. So I'm thinking the gas is just free. Like, what I'm saying? They're getting all this gas. Like, oh, how much you pump? I pump $10. We done pump $20. Then, I used to go to the little trading post with my granddaddy when I was little, and he would always tell me, like, get whatever you want. So I'm, 3, 4, 5 in there stuffing as much candy and stuff in my pockets as I can. I'm thinking it's free, not realizing this whole time he was paying for this stuff. So it's just like, adulthood, I wasn't expecting all that came with it. I was just expecting, like I said, to be grown and do grown folk stuff. That was it. But now, let's prepare these kids that are coming up for adulthood, because you got bills.
Good, I need to prepare.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, so for me, I would say that like credit and stuff didn't come until like I was like maybe like 16, 17. But my mama, I guess she prepared us a little bit, maybe because it's a lot of us in our family, but she prepared me like the basic stuff. I say the basic, but the things that a lot of us don't even do anymore, as in like, cleaning behind ourselves, doing laundry and all that stuff. I feel like that myself now. But that's how she taught us to grow up. So she prepared us for adulthood by that way. Like, no one have to cook after yourself or defending on your own. You know what I'm saying?
That's what these kids need to learn today, because these children coming up now are spoiled rotten. They have the nastiest attitude, and their parents are teaching them that whatever they want, I'm gonna give it to them. Yeah. No, because when they get into the real world,
that's our problem right there.
Right, when they get into this real world, baby, it's not gonna come like that, and you setting them up for failure. Prepare your children to realize you're gonna have to work for what you want. You're gonna have to get it out the mud. You're gonna have to respect authority. I don't care where it comes from, how bad they done got on. Now, disrespect, you don't have to tolerate disrespect, because there's a way to say everything and anything. but somebody is going to be over you unless you work for yourself. You're going to have bills. They come faithfully every month. You're going to have to learn to save. You're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Prepare yourself to be able to cook, to clean, to, you know what I'm saying? It's just a balance that you're going to have to bring to your life. And I am really, really glad now that some states are included in the academics for school, a credit course, like to prepare the kids, you know what I'm saying, for after school, like to prepare them like what comes along with all of it. So I wish it would.
And that's what I told you. And that's what I told you then too, King. Yeah. That's what I told you too, King, is like if you want to be technical, what is like really school based upon and that happens in real life?
Right, nothing. Really, it's really not. It's really not. The only thing basically that I can say, you use everything daily that you've been taught from school. You don't use it as much as they tried to make it seem like you would. Math, yeah, because you have to work and deal with numbers, this, that, and that. But like, you know what I'm saying, chemistry and, you know, social studies, knowing your history is great because let me tell y'all something, all of you children out there in this world, know your rights. Know your rights like you know your birthday, your cell phone number, your TikTok password, dances, your name, your social security number, the music that you hear. Know your rights that well because in the long run, it's going to play out. You're going to need to know what you can and cannot do in the eyes of the law. That's period. They should have a course on it. I'll teach it. Hey, sign up.
Let's teach it one-on-one.
Right, but I feel like because that's very, very important, like to know your rights because you have people of every race, although it's happening more with the black races, being pulled over for crazy things. And it's sad to say that as an African American and having African American brothers, you know what I'm saying, and cousins, that when they get pulled over, they have to, you know, do so much in order to stay alive. And I that's sad. Nobody should have to fear the police when they're pulled over of whether or not I'm going to leave this stop alive. So that's why I say parents out there that are watching, talk to your kids now about what their rights are. Show them.
And parents and family, don't make it easy for that child too, because, you know, I made a post on Facebook. This is a little funny. I made a post on Facebook and said, I think I did it on the 28th. I said, listen now, y'all, we got 3 more days to pay our bills. And they gonna tell us, nah, I got 7 more days. I got 3 more days. So people would rather pay that late fee on the 3rd and the 8th because they think it's okay.
Listen, and it's messing up your credit because especially for something credit wise, if you waiting to pay, that's gonna accrue interest one, and then it's gonna look bad on your credit statement. Like people ain't gonna want to let you get anything if you having all these late fees. Like no, and then the other thing, let me tell y'all, the biggest ripoff in America right now is student loans. Let me tell y'all, they tell you to go to school. They tell you to go to school, get an education, but education should be free.
No, the reason why I don't think it should be free, sorry to cut you off, the reason why I don't think it should be free because people won't work as hard.
You gotta pay
a lot of people who have these diplomas, they are getting them because they paying for it. But if it was free, they wouldn't do it. They'll skip class. We fighting in the parking lot.
It'd be basically the same thing as your high school diploma. You had to work to get it.
But look how I can't even count on my fingers how many times did my teacher had to pause teaching because something going on in the hallway. Somebody don't like each other. People bringing drama from outside, inside. Like it was a lot.
That even happens in college. You know what I'm saying? Like I've skipped the class too, but I still graduated.
It's less.
High school and college. But that's what I'm saying. Like it should be free because here it is. You're going to college for 4 years or 8 to 12 years for a diploma that's going to bring you better, but you're having to spend half of your salary to pay these student loans back.
Yeah.
And then you take out a student loan for $30,000, you're gonna end up paying back $55,000. What? What kind of that math don't math at home?
It ain't working at all.
Like,
but see, that's why it's so quick to give it to you. Anybody that's so quick to give you something, you gotta watch out.
Well, that's the saying I always say, anything worth having is worth fighting for, which is the point. You know, some people look at it like, okay, I get a diploma in this, get this degree in this field, but I don't even work in that field. So it was basically, you know, stupid for me to have done it, but I still got the student loans because that happens. You will get a degree in a certain field, and when you graduate college, you don't even work in that field. So here it is, 4 years that you wasted, and all this money you got to pay back for a degree you're not even using. I'm going to use mine to the fullest. Period.
So, look, you had brought up so I want to ask y'all a question. So honestly, have y'all been pulled over by a police officer? Shine, I know you won now, but in the past, have you been pulled over by a police officer and was fear for your life? Okay, so I'm gonna say about my experience then. Okay, so I was.
Is that on topic?
Yeah. I mean, we was talking about preparing.
We was talking about, but we getting off. It's a side note. I just want to say
getting all the way off.
We are. But hey, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, listen, we'll make this a new little post or something. You never know. So the time that I think I was coming back from college. I was with my friends on the highway. Listen, so I live in a small town, Carrollton, Georgia. A lot of people know me there. Hey, but it's some new cops. There's new workers everywhere. We're going down the highway. I'm flying. I'm in my Impala. I had just got upgraded because I used to have a minivan that I called the Charger. But listen though, I was in the Impala. I was flying. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So I got pulled over. I really listen. When I tell y'all I've never been scared before, because y'all know anybody who knows me know that I'm a friendly person. I can get along with just about anybody. But it was just the fact that he was like, "Don't I know you?" And I was like, "Nah, you don't know me." But he may see me do events. I'm not sure. I forgot to tell y'all from the beginning that we had donuts in the car, right? So they had just already done a drug bust that week prior towards me coming down. So they pull us over. They make us step out the car. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. And Shonda said, "Know your rights. You gotta know your rights." Listen, they pulled me and my friend out separately and try to make us lie on each other to say, "Oh, he said that you smoking this. He said you smoking that." Listen, we already knew that it was a lie. But when I tell you, I had my mama on speed dial. Listen, they was all coming down this way, and they was all on the phone with each other. They was like, "Do not hang up the phone," because the officer was like, "You need to hang up this cell phone. You gonna hang it up now?" And I was like, "I'm not hanging up this cell phone." And when I tell y'all, my city councilman, listen, Jim Wars is so cool. I called my city councilman. Listen, they got on that jump. Like so crazy. And that day I never looked like I'm friends with a lot of police officers, but the fact is the new ones that are coming in, like I feel like their training is a little off. But get back on topic.
They don't have
I was scared. Like I've never in my life been scared. If I was not on the phone with my mom and them and they was on the phone, like they had put it on 3-way, 4-way. See who that is. Tell them I'm on live though. That 3-way, 4-way, it was a lot.
They don't do enough training, you know what I'm saying, like they should. They are not trained thoroughly like they should be. You know what I'm saying? Like deputies and police officers, they're not trained thoroughly. Period. Like it's just like you go through the training basically on how to stay alive. And they don't really teach them like how to talk. But I have always said a lot of the police officers that are officers are in authority because they got beat up or bullied in school, because there will be no other reason why you would literally be an asshole, excuse my language, for no reason. Like, you don't have to take it that serious. And then another thing that behooves me is, how are you an officer to protect and serve and you're afraid or fear for your life and you have a lot of tools on your duty belt? What are you fearful of? You're more fearful to me because you have all this stuff on your belt. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
So why would you take this position knowing that it's for the community and you fearful of the people?
Yeah.
That's not adding up to me. Like, what you take the job for? Because there's no need of you being in the line of duty to be afraid. You're here to serve and protect, not serve and kill.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people, it's an ego thing. Like, they get these positions and their egos go up here and they feel like, oh, because I'm the authority person here, you gonna do what I say. No, because doing what you say, you're gonna violate my rights. And in the process, I'm gonna own you and this police department. That's period. That's why it's so important to the parents out here in this world, for all y'all viewing this right now. If you have not talked to your children, your nieces, your nephews, your brothers, your sisters about their rights, or you don't know yours, learn your rights. It's gonna save your life and somebody else's. And speaking of that, we're gonna go on over to our next topic. Yes. And we are going to talk about 17-year-old Anthony Thompson Jr. We have a video that we would like to show you guys. Viewer discretion is advised. So Willow, hit it.
So before we begin, I just want to read this off so we won't have no allegedly stories and that like that. It says, this is a footage of the murder of a 17-year-old Anthony Thompson Jr. By police while at school. The mother of his girlfriend called the police on him and said he was hitting his girlfriend, her daughter. The police went to the school the next day to arrest him, and they confronted him while he was in the bathroom and tried to arrest him. A police officer accidentally shot himself during the arrest, and the other officers thought Anthony did it and shot him twice. He bled out and died at school. So it seems to me that it always, when it's something black on white crime or officer crime, it seems like it's always something accidentally happened.
And so right now, although this happened in April of 2021, it's finally coming to the light because nobody talked about it. So the thing was that they went to the school to arrest him, and in the process of arresting him, another officer, an officer that was in the circle there, shot himself. And they thought because this child, they claimed they found a gun on him, they thought he shot the officer, so they shot him. And they're trying to say it's justified. That, from what I saw in that video, that is not justified because, for one, both of his hands one of his arms was in one officer's hand and the other one was in another. So please explain to me, how did he shoot the officer in front of him? And both of his hands were behind his back because that officer took the gun off of him. But my thing about that whole situation, it was done backwards. Yeah. Because, for one, he should not have been in that bathroom. That's number one. Two, they should have had him called to the office, and they should have arrested him in their office if that's what they were going to do. From what they taught us, you try not to arrest people in a small area. Yeah. That's because it's dangerous, not only for them, but for you also. So therefore, it was 3-4 officers in this bathroom and then 2 children. They should have bought them children out of that bathroom and did it in an open area. Like I said, it was all wrong. He should not have been arrested in that bathroom. He should have been brought to the.
They could have called him. They could have called him to the office.
Right, it's protocol to follow. They should have brought him to the office and talked to him, like, you know what I'm saying. They didn't have to arrest him in public in the open area of the office. They could have brought him to the office, took him in the conference room, and did it there.
And see, that's my concern.
But this child lost his life, and y'all want to say it's an accident? No. See, nobody knew in their life.
That was my concern right there. That was my concern right there because I feel like it was so unprofessional to go into the bathroom, knowing that there could be possibility of other, students in there. Y'all should have.
And then I'm sorry to cut you off, but at the end of the video, that the other child that was in the bathroom, the officer was like, "Get down, get down." So he sat down. He was like, "Get on the floor," but he's basically down. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's sitting down, he's showing you his hands. He's like, "Get on the floor, get on the floor." So he was like, "I'm down." He was like, "Get on the floor." So my thing about the situation is, you're already, heightening the situation because at any time, that's what I'm saying. If you come to, if you're at a situation with the police, you're there. The officers are there to de-escalate the situation, not to escalate. And majority of the time, that's why I tell my brothers, when you are speaking with the police, speak. Don't yell, don't raise your voice, don't do none of that, because when you get heightened, they get heightened. So things get escalated, and then that's when things get blown out of proportion. We as Americans have to learn to control our tone when we're in a heated situation. And that's what a lot of times happen, is that they take what we're saying wrong because, you be like, "I know my rights," and they want to get mad. And I'm going to say, they get pissed off when you know your rights. Try and see what happens. They get
the same
because they know what they're doing is not right, it's not justified, and what they did to that child is not justifiable. I don't care how anyone sees it or whatever. That mother lost her son because an officer was careless with his weapon and shot himself.
And it's crazy because that same person with that badge is completely different without it. So a lot of people get into these types of roles, not just saying officers, but anybody in general. They get into these types of roles and they start thinking they all this and all that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real with each other.
Let me say,
you got to be professional. Keep it professional at all times. Like, I love officers, you know, like Sean, but I love officers that I love officers that actually go take the time to actually go serve the community and go get to know what's going on in the community. Like, we got an Officer Michael Daniel in our city. I love him truly. Like, he used to come to my events, support the events, play basketball with the kids. Like, those are the type of officers I like, and those are the type of officers that are going to be looked at totally different from the others. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to respect the officer. Officers is fine for us. You know what I'm saying? That's
why the most important thing that you do as an officer when you're there to protect and serve is building a rapport with the community that you work in.
Yeah,
that's the number one thing, because you got to realize, and I used to tell them officers that all the time, like, you're not gonna always have that gun. You're not gonna always have that badge. Some people care, some people don't. You have people that don't care that you wear a gun or a badge. They'll still beat you up. But the thing about it, you're not gonna always have that to protect you. I used to tell them all the time, because like in the area where I work, they were scared to go into the hood. And I was like, if something ever pop off in the hood, Officer Hurd gonna be secure. Trust and believe. They gonna stand for me.
They're
gonna make sure I don't get hurt. They're gonna make sure I go home, because I treat them like they are people. But if you up here doing all this rah and disrespecting these people, if something pop off in the hood and you out there, you good as God if you lose all the bullets out of your gun, because they're not gonna stay for you. They probably gonna shoot you. They're gonna take your gun and beat you with, and that has happened. But I just feel like in this situation, my heart goes out to his mom, if he had siblings, and I know the young lady, his girlfriend's mom was like, she hated that she called the police because of what happened. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a lot of things were wrong with this situation. And the number one thing was how they arrested him. They never should have went in that bathroom.
Well, me personally, I just, if we're going to keep it real, y'all know I keep saying this because I try to like let people know, hey, I'm going to keep it 100. Honestly, I don't even feel like she should have called the police. I feel like there should have been a conversation they should have had, because they're young. You know what I'm saying? There should be something that they should have had, because they could have controlled the situation, I think. If they couldn't control it, then you call the police. You know what I'm saying? But don't call
she could have kept her away from him, or better yet, why did you wait the next day to call the police?
That's like,
obviously, because I always think in situations like this, if someone is beating or abusing someone, this is not the first time it's happened.
Yeah,
this is the first time we're hearing about it. So I don't feel like it may have been the first time that him and her, their kids, they've gotten into an altercation. He done put his hands on her, she done put her hands on him, whatever. Not to justify them killing him, period. But at the end of the day, like you said, that's something that could have been talked about. She should have called his parents and been, or his mom, and been like, look, your son putting his hand on my child, I don't agree with it. You need to do something about it before I do. And maybe this child's life would have been spared, but he was 17 years old, didn't even live to see 18, and he was even in school. But all of a sudden now they're trying to say he had a gun. Well, why would he have a gun?
Get to graduate.
Why would he have a gun in school? He hadn't been in any trouble. He wasn't a troubled child. So all of a sudden now it's always something when an officer kills somebody. Oh, I felt threatened. What made you feel threatened, sir? Or ma'am? On your belts, and you felt threatened? Come on, for real. I feel like if you say you feel threatened by somebody, they need to put you on office duty. You don't need to be out in the public. You need to sit down and that's where you. What you gonna be afraid of, the computer?
Right.
Because you don't need to be out in the public trying to protect and serve me, and you fear for your life, because Sir, we can't have you out here fearing for your life. You're supposed to be protecting and serving. That's stupid. Because people used to ask me all the time, you're not afraid to go to nobody's house at night? No. Long as me and the Lord is together, I'm fine.
Listen, we can go anywhere.
If something pop off, I'm going to use what I
We'll fight 3 people tonight. Let's go, Lord.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Me and the Lord, he covered me every time I went out. So I know I'm not scared. You know,
Listen,
so I'm just like.
Yeah. Before we move on, I want to read this from Damien. It says, it's sad that police officers are supposed to be people that protect us from bad people, not to be a bad person. When I was a kid, they used to teach us to inspire to be officers. That is true. But listen, we got to move on from the topic, okay? So our next topic is boundaries. Listen, boundaries can be challenging to set, but it's important that we set them at the beginning so they won't be crossed during relationship or friendship. Listen, one more time, relationship or friendship. I feel like I'm teaching a class. I'm not going to lie to y'all, just to keep it 100. This is something that I felt that. I really felt that keeping boundaries set. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I can keep it 100 and say that it's me. But the new me is a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like, and I'm not saying boundaries. It's not just relationship. It's friendships. Like, a lot of times, let's look at it as a friendship first. So a lot of times we can clown each other, right? But sometimes we're clowning each other in front of other people. But we don't really like what we said in front of the other person. But see, our boundaries wasn't set between us before we moved on to somebody else. And y'all know how the relationships be. It's a lot of things we can talk about that.
It's always one-sided, but you know what I'm saying? Boundaries should be set from the beginning. You should have personal boundaries for yourself and your space, and then you should have your boundaries for your, but if you are somebody's friend, brother, whatever, you already know the boundaries, period. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you definitely need to make sure that those boundaries are set, because that's what's going to make your relationship either swim or it's going to sink. One of the two. Something's going to happen. You're going to have to figure it out. But boundaries, guys, make sure y'all set them boundaries. If you have not thought about it, think about it. Write it down. What are some of the things that you like? What are some of the things you don't like? Those are the boundaries that you need to be sharing with others, because if somebody don't know that you have a boundary or whatever, or you feel this way about a certain situation and they do it, you can't get mad at them because they didn't know. You have to be like, well, look, I told you this, and this, and you have to respect it. But if you hadn't opened your mouth and said anything, what can they say? What can they do? That's just how I look at it. My boundaries are set, because majority of the people that know me know my boundaries. And the biggest thing with me, a lot of people know, is my OCD problem. That's a big one for me. That's a big one for me. So
I think ladies just have OCD problems.
Mine is horrible. Like, because my sister asked me all the time, what you gonna do when you have kids? Lord knows I don't know. Because I don't. I really, child. I do not. So make sure you guys set them boundaries.
I said one time, set
them boundaries. Set them, guys. Let me say how set them.
You got to. Like, it's I can't say how important it is. Like, like I said, I felt that mindset at the beginning, but I grew into knowing that it's very, very, very important to set boundaries. It really is. It makes the friendship and the relationship just so much easier. You know what I'm saying?
It do. It really do. So you guys, like I said, every topic that we discussed here tonight on the Let's Talk Show, you guys, we want y'all to join in the comments, speak on them, let us know what you think. On everything we spoke about. Congratulations to the 2022 graduates. Rest in peace to Mr. Anthony Thompson Jr. and anybody else that we have lost this year and any other years to any kind of violence, period, or just death itself. That's about it, because the topics tonight were pretty good and intense, but we do want to hear from you guys. So leave us a comment. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the list.
Isaiah, is there something that you want to say about boundaries before we move on, before we end the show, man?
You said anything about boundaries?
Yeah, that you want to say before we end the show?
Well, I ain't got nothing to really say about boundaries. It just messes with people's feelings, so you have to. Because when you don't set the boundaries, it messes with people's feelings. And when you mess with people's feelings, you know what happens next. People end up either dead or beat up or just stuff don't go right.
So make sure y'all set them boundaries. But that's it. That's it for tonight.
Well, you guys, we're going to end the show. Melo, let's play our intro.
Make sure y'all get me to 40K. Love y'all.
Make sure you follow all the